Well, shalom family. I decided to talk while I'm working today. I brought this back from the house. This is thyme, and I see a lot of roots have already died off, but there's a lot that are still alive, so I'm going to remove the dead branches or stems from the plant so that the rest of it can thrive and get all the nutrients it needs. But in the process, I figured I would talk to my family. We issued a 30-day challenge the other day during our live broadcast. Believe it or not, this thing that I just pulled off, that is edible. These are good salad greens. The leaves can get a very decent size, but I'm taking it off right now because I don't want it mixed in with my thyme. I may attempt to transplant it somewhere else and see if it can survive in the greenhouse, and I'll have to do that quickly. I want to step over here real quick because I have some water in one of my watering cans so that the roots can stay wet until I'm able to transplant it. Okay. That was the brother calling the children. He uses the shofar, which is a great way to summon the children to come so that you don't have to scream out loud. That's a great idea there. I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me because I'm kind of facing downward, but I'm going to attempt to talk anyway. But anyway, we issued a 30-day challenge. And the challenge is basically to say, if you only have 30 days to get yourself together, what would you do? What would you be doing in that 30 days? Of course, the things that we need to survive are food, water, and shelter. And so it would be my hope that all of you would be doing something towards securing food, water, and shelter. Everyone has a different vision on what we need to be doing. It's not our job to knock anyone's vision, but we would like to definitely encourage you to do what it is you have to do for your family. A lot of us are not taking these things serious in terms of the economy and how bad it is at the moment. The economy is pretty rough. It is pretty rough. And so we are treating it as such. Doing what we have to do to make sure that everything is okay for those who have chosen to join us. I wish finances were of the sort to where we can do things faster and on a larger scale, but it just doesn't happen that way all the time. I can imagine if we were doing something like having twerk parties and rap showdowns, and we were selling some fancy gym shoes or something of that magnitude or of that sort. You would probably get more interest, something that's going to entertain. But when you're talking about securing your family, growing food and different things of that nature, no one's really interested in that until circumstances push them in that direction. And so that is what we are seeing among our people. But I am glad to know that some people are awakening. I saw a video earlier today of a young man. I believe he's out in California, but they said he's a former rapper or former thug or whatever. But he's decided to go green. And I believe his movement is called Go Green something. Growing in the house. Don't quote me on it. Someone shared it on Facebook and it's making its rounds. But anyway, this young man, he's out there growing food on a real serious tip. And he got the young people involved, and he got everybody all hyped and happy about it. And they are doing this thing. And they are happy to be handling their business, growing food, and they're eating the food. He's encouraged them to grow and eat healthy food in a food desert. in a food desert. I commend anyone who decides to dwell or stay in the city and actually be a blessing to the people, teaching them knowledge that is good for them. I commend anyone who takes that path and chooses that direction, because he's saying, look, there's a food desert here. I want to grow food, so I'm going to use the young people. I'm going to encourage young people to help me with this. He's using his cool ethics and his street knowledge and his street pull to pull the young people. And so he's turning them, changing their mindset about what they eat and how they eat. He talked about how unhealthy the food is, and you know, all this other good stuff. And I was very, very moved by this video to see this young man embarking on such an endeavor, because not too many people care about what black people eat these days. You know, not even black people care about what they eat. But the bottom line is we have to start caring. If we want our loved ones to live longer, healthier lives, then we have to start implementing change, starting with our own families, and then going out and making a change with the rest of our people. This is what I do, the videos that I do. You know, it's not just about food, it's about overall health of the family, and understanding the time that we're in and what we're up against. When you can help to heal the whole person, then you're making some positive strides. I think I'm going to just leave them down on the side as mulch. But you know, if enough of us begin to take more of an interest in how our people are living and what we're doing, I think we're going to see a lot of change. And I actually do see that. I do see a lot of people taking interest in us living healthy, productive lives as people. I do see more and more people taking interest in that. And so this is why I believe a lot of our young people are being encouraged to actually start to be that change at an early age. This young man looks like he's in his 20s, possibly early 30s. I'm not sure. These days you can't tell, because our people have this youthful look sometimes to where you can't tell what their age is. I've had people say that I look like I'm in my 30s, and I don't feel like I'm in my 30s, so that's why I'm trying to do the best that I can to heal my body from all of the years of abuse, eating the things that we shouldn't have eaten. And now we're trying to do repairing. We're trying to repair our bodies. And so the healthy approach is the best approach. And the healthiest approach you can actually go after is to grow your own, because you know what's in what you're growing. You know, sometimes when you go to these grocery stores and these other establishments, you can't always go by what they're telling you. The package may say organic, but basically we're just hoping and trusting that these people are being honest. I actually saw a special where they are labeling some olive oils as pure olive oil, and it's actually not olive oil at all. It's some other kind of oil. And you see, we are tricked by these things because we don't always know how to determine what's what. And so I think it's going to be very important that we learn how to do as much as we can on our own, make some changes that are going to be beneficial to our families, and stop depending on the system so much to even care, because the system doesn't care. You see, they've made that very clear. But we've got to care enough. We have got to care enough to be that change that our families need, okay? Starting from the oldest to the youngest, we have to be the change that our families need. And giving them a full round of education. Education is not just reading, writing, and arithmetic. And unfortunately, we've been brainwashed into believing that here in America. But many of us are starting to come around and understand that our children's education needs to go beyond reading, writing, and arithmetic. They need to know how to take care of their own families and their own bodies, and, you know, health and nutrition. Notice in some of the schools, they have that food pyramid, right? And they teach our children at an early age, they indoctrinate them with that food pyramid. The pyramid in and of itself being attached to something very wicked, but that's what they choose to use. But with that food pyramid, they have given us a guideline, their guideline, which is a very unhealthy guideline to follow. That is not how we were intended to eat. That food pyramid does not go along with Yah's dietary laws at all. We were never intended to eat meat every day, much less 3 times a day. But the food pyramid suggests that we do that. All of these grains and all of this dairy, that's not Yah's diet. And so we are trying to get rid of Western thinking and think more so according to the ways of the Most High. The Most High has a standard that we must live by. And we have to abandon this wicked culture that we've taken a hold of. All of the things that they teach in this culture are just wicked. I'm going to say most. Can't say all, because there are some things that are just basic knowledge. You know, that's human knowledge that these people actually teach as well. Math is not wicked, you know. Math is universal. So that's what I mean when I say not all. But anyway, I just wanted to do this as an encouragement to let you know, with our 30-day challenge, we are wanting to see what you would do to improve, even if it's just one thing. It doesn't take a whole lot of things, but even if it's just one thing that you can implement to change your family's outlook on things. How they eat, changing how they eat, changing what they watch, how much they watch, because frankly, a lot of the stuff that they are watching and listening to is actually affecting them negatively. And so we've got to make full circle changes in our families' lives to ensure that they are going to get the growth potential that they need. They're going to learn the things that they need. They're going to gain the knowledge and grow to be the parents that they are supposed to be. But I love you too, sweetheart. My little ones are over there doing their schoolwork right now. And the little 4-year-old just wanted to give her little call or shout out to me saying hello. I am so grateful that we have chosen this lifestyle. I remember when we were in Michigan, we didn't attempt this, but we were growing our own food, but it was more like a hobby. We weren't doing it out of necessity. We were doing it more as a hobby. And so I'm thankful because now we see it as a necessity and not just as a hobby. This is something we feel we must do because our families need this. If you want to extend your life, then you definitely want to make sure that you are feeding your family what they need in order for them to grow, in order for them to prosper, in order for them to be healthy. You want to make sure that you are giving them everything that they need to achieve that. And it's going to start with the parents. Starts with the parents. And it starts with us implementing that change and not looking to those outside of us to make it happen. Okay, right now I'm just rambling. I'm going to get up from here in a moment because I need to put some mulch around the remainder of these plants so that they can thrive. The soil is still moist, but the mulch is going to help keep the moisture in. We haven't had a lot of rain this season at all. This year period, we haven't had a lot of rain, but we have had some cool nights that made it easier for the plants to grab some of the water that they needed. Okay, so I'm noticing this soil is still kind of moist because it's cool overnight. It actually helps it to maintain moisture as well. So I'm going to go ahead and close this video out. Sometimes I get fumbled with my words, family, so pardon me on that. But I'm going to go ahead and close this video out and say shalom.